Joining me today is former New Hampshire State Senator Jim Rubens, who's also been a candidate for the U.S. Senate. Jim, we want to talk a little bit more and kind of close up the health care. We went around a variety of issues, and we really probably just scratched the surface.
Absolutely.
And it shows you the complexity of this issue. See, in 30, 40 seconds, because I don't have another hour that we could keep talking about it, what are some of the things that you want people to think about as possible solutions?
Well, I would, as a practical conservative, which is what I am, I would structure a solution around three things. First of all, freedom. Okay, but there are problems. So I would have a catastrophic insurance pool of some kind for people who either can't get insurance or have pre-existing conditions and don't properly buy in. We need to deal with folks. Okay, we're not going to turn people out on the street if they have cancer. We've got to deal with that problem. So that will be government subsidized. It will be means tested. There'll be some kind of credits, whether you call it tax credits or subsidies. It doesn't matter. We need to subsidize it so that people can get cancer care and life-threatening circumstances.
Catastrophic
insurance is needed in a humane society. Number two, we need primary care. The fee-for-service billing machine system we've got is horrible, and the Obamacare is not a solution for that because the deductibles are too high. So I favor a model that looks like these community health clinics that we have. We have 14 of them. A new one is just opening in Canaan, New Hampshire next month, and it provides very accessible continuity of care, locally managed and locally run primary care so that people can get in and have their kid, if they have the flu, see a doctor and have continuity of care with the same team day by day, year by year helping you. And
how's that paid for? Through insurance? Or
it provides primary care at about half the cost of a hospital fee-for-service based system. It's structured around, there is a federal loan, $3 million to start this new one in Canaan from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Why it comes from there, who knows? So the subsidies from the federal level are modest. They're for startup. People pay. If they can't pay, they still get care. It takes Medicare, Medicaid, insurance, and they provide revenues from a variety of sources. And by virtue of being small, locally administered, they shed cost. It's close to where people live. You have continuity of care. So that's the second part. We need a primary care-based system that is not the fee-for-service system. And the third piece is I favor personally health savings accounts where that people are able to save money. We need to tax equalize employer-based insurance and non-employer-based insurance, allow people to have tax-advantaged money in a pool of money that they can use to spend on health insurance or health services for themselves and for their family, and the amount they don't spend flows over to the next year tax-free, and they can keep it for their retirement should they be efficient with that spending. So those are three parts: primary care. We need accessible primary care. We need a catastrophic health system with subsidies, and we need freedom through I think health savings accounts.
Okay, so you get the last 5 seconds. Odds are, in the next 2 years, will we see any of this?
You're going to need to see a change in politics. Democrats and Republicans are going to have to get together. We have a Republican-controlled legislature. The solution, if there's going to be one, where it's going to get 60 votes to get through the U.S. Senate, get the signature of the president, is going to have to be conservatively oriented. There's going to have to be a big dose of freedom in the thing. And Democrats are going to be players. It's going to have to happen. Republicans are going to have to find a way to accommodate. And Democrats are going to have to come off we're going to have to stop Trump in every way possible focus, because then we're going to kick the can down the road. It'll be another 4 years before we even address the subject.
But wasn't that sort of the problem with the political system? Is 2 years ago it was stop Obama in any way possible.
So this is why I say Congress has been derelict over decades, and most recently derelict in not addressing the systemic, nearly existential problems that the country faces. So you've got to have people in Congress focused more on the nation's well-being than on getting reelected. So you're going to have to say to folks, your constituents, look, I'm going to do stuff that's not going to be entirely popular because we have thorny issues that are not going to be resolved by giving everything to everyone. There is no way to fix all these problems by being popular with everyone.
Well,
my duty is...
I'm going to have to stop you out here.
We'll stop there.
That's a good place.
All right.
It's going to take some unpopular decisions.
Yes.
But let's hope we can make it. But thank you so much for being here.
Most welcome.
And thank you for joining us for this edition of Capital Connections, your weekly access to politics and policy along the I-89 and I-91 corridors and how it impacts your life and our region. If you've got an idea for a future show or a comment, why don't you send me an email? But stay tuned at the same time next week for another edition of Capital Connections.